In the top stories, representatives of the UVI meet with Agriculture Minister, and Skelec announces power outages for this week. We'll be back with the details after the break.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Get the protection needed for your eyes only at Quartz Optical. Trade in and save up to 35% off your lens purchase, plus a free eye exam. Payment plans available from 3 to 24 months. Book your appointment today online at www.quartzoptical.com. For your eyes only. Trade in your old glasses and save up to 35% off your lenses only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see. Special conditions apply.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Mervan Thompson. First up locally, representatives from the University of the Virgin Islands, UVI, Orville E. Keene campus paid a courtesy visit to Honorable Samuel Duggins, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, Marine Resources and Cooperatives, as well as Miguel Fleming, Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry on Wednesday, according to a communique from the Ministry. During the meeting, Dr. Caroline Boykins-Winrow explained that the university is seeking to establish a 2+2 arrangement program that will allow students of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College to transfer to UVI after 2 years to complete a bachelor's degree. A 2+2 arrangement is a program where persons can attend the first 2 years of their 4-year bachelor's at a community college and then transfer for the remaining 2 years to a traditional college or university. At the UVI, certificates in agricultural business, agrotourism, aquaculture, forestry and nursery management, general agriculture and horticulture are available for current and future students. The certificate programs are designed to provide hands-on training and entry-level employment skills in agriculture and food production for current and future farmers. The courses in these programs can also be applied toward an Associate of Applied Science AAS degree at the University of the Virgin Islands, creating what is known as a stackable degree program. The team was made up of Francisco Depuswa, Associate Professor and Chair of Accounting and Finance, and Dr. Caroline Boykins-Winrow, Associate Professor of Animal Science. The St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, Skelec, is advising of scheduled maintenance outages for the week between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. On Monday, New Road Housing. On Tuesday, New Haven Development, Connery. On Wednesday, Connery Beach and Carifesta Housing to Bayford's Estate. On Thursday, Fairway Rise, Half Moon Bay. And on Friday, Willetts Housing. Coming up, we'll have another look at some of the stories from the past week. Stay tuned.
Create the home you love with this never-ending double cashback coupon season at Hotspot's Furniture and Appliances. Get this 3-piece Endelin living room set and get over $700 in free groceries. This includes the sofa, love seat, and chair. Get this 7-piece Frostburg dining set and get over $400 in free groceries. This includes chairs and table. Create the home you love with this double cashback coupon season at Hotspot's Furniture and Appliances.
You're never too young to start planning for your financial future. That's why I decided to visit National Caribbean Insurance to speak with one of their friendly sales agents.
Here at NCI, we strive to ensure customer satisfaction by choosing the right policy for you. Our endowment plans provides customers with adequate returns on their investment. The quinquennial bonus policy offers a 25% payout of the sum assured every 5 years. Other life insurance packages can help to secure your family's future. Also, please consider our health plans so you can be reimbursed for medical expenses to ease financial impact. Just remember, the younger you are, the more affordable insurance is for you.
Don't wait until it's too late to apply. Make an appointment to see a sales agent.
Visit us today. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Welcome back. This week, the National Assembly agreed to pass amendments to the Civil Aviation Act, the Public Health Act, and the Skipper Act. Here's that recap.
Public Health Amendment Bill 2022 has been passed with the repeal of the COVID Prevention and Protection Act. During the first sitting of the National Assembly on Thursday, the Public Health Amendment Bill was moved by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew against the backdrop that COVID regulations were somewhat excessive.
Restrictions on visitations. Domestic travel was curtailed in many instances. I want us to see how these, even though this is a piece of paper, one piece of paper, the amount of effects that this one piece of paper can have on the lives of people is tremendous, and that is why we should not take these things lightly. We are now in a new space and a new normal as I seek to really repeal this act.
The COVID-19 Prevention and Protection Act was repealed to form part of the existing Public Health Act, thereby being an amendment that allows COVID-19 to be dealt with in the future.
This repeal does not mean if COVID comes back we cannot respond in less than an hour. It means that where the legislation did not exist in a form to respond effectively to COVID, if there's even that thought, we have put a path in this new legislation to make sure that it does that. So we are stronger, we are better, and we are safer because of this action today.
The opposition lent their support to the passage of the bill, with member for Nevis 10, Honorable Eric Evelyn, saying that he was happy about the repeal. The amendment to the bill was passed with no opposition votes. The Civil Aviation Amendment Bill passed in the National Assembly when members of Parliament met on Thursday. The bill, which was moved by the Minister responsible, Honorable Marsha Henderson, sought to elevate the country's FAA rating to number 1. Minister Henderson explained the international ratings.
Just by way of background, this year, Madam Speaker, the U.S. Federal Aviation Authority announced that the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States would have been assigned a Category 2 safety rating as a result of our non-compliance with the safety standards of the International Civil Aviation Organization known as ICAO. Federal Aviation Administration has established 2 ratings for the status of countries. Category 1, Madam Speaker, relates to a country that does comply with the International Civil Aviation Organization standards.
As this impacts the Eastern Caribbean Aviation Authority, ECA, each island has to make the amendments to regain top status.
As a tourism destination, and as such, Madam Speaker, it is important that we maintain not only as a country, but as a region, the status mentioned earlier, that is the status of a country that does comply with the standards of the International Civil Aviation Organization. The amendments do not at all change the primary objective of the legislation, which is and must always be safety. Think that, Madam Speaker, the stakeholders within the aviation industry are cognizant of the demotion of the regional body ECA from Category 1 to Category 2 status, and would indeed be very comforted to know that the government is working hard for them, along with our regional partners, in delivering rules and regulations that would actually assist them in their work.
Honorable Mark Brantley argued that the bill gives too much power to the Director General of ECHA. Attorney General Honorable Garth Wilkins said that the bill gives the Director General power only to make decisions in relation to safety and security. An amendment to the legislation governing the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency (SKIPPA) was passed in the National Assembly when the members met on Thursday. Mover of the bill, member for St. Christopher 6, Dr. the Honorable Denzel Douglas, proposed that the term minister in the Act refer to the minister of the day responsible for SKIPPA instead of the Minister of Finance at the time it was written in 2008.
It is amending Section 2 of the Act by replacing the definition of the expression minister. Remember what I told you from the beginning? Minister was a different minister, but now minister is now being redefined in this way. It means the minister with responsibility for investment. That is what it is all about. That is what it is all about. The minister would have been changed from what it was or who it was in the 2007 Act to who it should be and now is under the new dispensation after the general election of August of this year.
Leader of the opposition, Honorable Mark Brantley, questioned the timing of the act, stating that the bill should have been moved by the Minister of Finance since that was the way the act was intended.
There was an attempt to appoint the good member for number 6 as minister with responsibility for SKIPPA when the legislation did not permit it, and that we are now seeking to make the necessary amendment to allow him to properly assume his role as minister with responsibility for SKIPPA, because the legislation as of the date of his appointment was very clear that the minister was the Minister of Finance. So perhaps to solve that problem, there has to be some element of retroactivity to this bill. I don't know what the answer is. I'm suggesting to the learned Attorney General that that might be a consideration to cure what, in my view, is an obvious concern, that the minister who is before us and purporting to be minister with responsibility for SKIPPA cannot assume that position until such time as this amendment has been passed in this Honorable House.
Attorney General Honorable Garth Wilkins offered an explanation for the legality of the act and the amendment now being proposed.
There need not be any retroactivity because the reference to the minister and the responsibility of the minister in the act is more administrative. The minister is the person responsible for appointing the board. The board has specific persons that are supposed to be selected, but administratively, the minister with responsibility for finance in the previous version of the act had to perform those administrative tasks. So there's a separation from what is required in the act and the decision made by the learned Prime Minister, member for number 8, to give SKIPPA the agency as the responsibility of the now Minister for Investment. So there need not be any retroactivity in that respect.
While the bill was supported by opposition members Brantley, Richards and Harris, they did state their issues with the bill. The bill was moved through the committee stage and ultimately passed.
After the break, Grenada recognizes its senior citizens and grain corridor deal suspended.